Got it, says Arbus over on the team one. Ooh, I like that. You know what? I'm excited to see a Night Elf Warlock or a Pandaren Warlock at this point. But Arbus going back in as a Destro. We got 4 Beer back. Ooh. I like this holy looking gun going on. Look at this holy man over here. My goodness, we got Holy Sai over here. First up over for that team, Jayhawk Wizard in the back as well as Masterfoot waiting their turn. Gonna be an opener by Shadowprank Gouge. Getting shot to follow as he goes for a Shadow Strike. Bubble immediately out of the Paladin. The Shadowprank immediately dies at advantage. Holy Sai is actually right on his tail for a good second there, trying to see if he can catch up to the Rogue. Does he know that the Rogue is literally right next to him? He can tell where the Rogue is going to go. I feel like this man's been versing into a lot of Rogues in the marinas. He knows more or less where they're going to be. It immediately hits him with a stun right after. Tricky to follow, but it's going to be tricky for both of them. Big secret technique by the Rogue as Holy Saya, trying to see if they can go a bit more counter-offensive. He knows him to stay aggressive with the Rogue. Hits him with a Consecration. Doesn't get him out in the open. Does get him somehow out in the open. It's going to be quick shots immediately for Shadowprank. No hodge for Holy Saya for a good bit. Does have defenses in case he ever needs to. Gouge to follow. Shadowprank may be loading up. Yet another Kidney Shot. Does Holy have any way to catch up? Kidney Shot to follow. Does the Rogue have any damage here? Blessing of Protection as the Rogue trying to see if he gets something going. Vanish no longer available. Does have a Shadow Mill. Maybe difficult for him to get a proper Shadow Mill off as the Wake of Ashes is blasted. The Rogue, if you just go for Consecration, stun. Wait, no, mind. I think it's just over. Oh my god, just smacking the Rogue out of here blind just to make sure he can deal with that cheap death. Blind him for a second. Get him out of here with Soldier Witch going to be up next. Death Knights have gone through a massive change recently. Lots of the burst damage out of the window. I'm on the armies that Soldier Witch as affliction, as a unholy death that you could summon is much smaller. You only summon a handful of ghouls, but they're more effective. There's not as many of them, but they're a lot more effective. Gonna be those Mages of the Dead attacking from distance. Also, a lot of his sustained damage and constant damage is incredibly high. Oh my, what was that? Was that an execute or something? Just popped off out of left field. Their sustained damage is a lot higher for both Frost as well as Unholy. And Soldier Witch, when you have a Paladin without a bop or a bubble, just blasted him to smithereens. Gonna be a breath out of Jayhawk, got himself a poly. Gonna be able to go for a full Arcane Surge. This is where Soldier needs to play very defensive AMS up immediately. Death did get more damage, but their defense did not really improve that much. He's gonna miss his interrupt. No more hate buff for Jayhawk. At least get himself immunity to CC as an Arcane Mage, able to blast out a Soldier. Every global could just be a barrage if he wanted to. Gonna be better cooldown reduction. Stunned by Soldier. Got himself a bit of pets. Summoning up and empowering the main pet. The main pet is not gonna be as powerful. That burst damage by the pet isn't as high, but the consistent damage, sustained damage of base abilities, even the festering wounds of Soldier, all this festering wounds abilities, like doing more like 250% more damage. Death Glow does 90% more damage in PvP. Stuff like this, like your basic attacks are a lot more effective. Big Apocalypse, all of those festering wounds popping at once. Summoning up the undeads gives you quite a bit of damage. As Soldier just needs himself a little bit more time as Jayhawk taking his sweet opportunity to reset inside of the Ice Block, recuperate a little bit of health, got himself the ultra time, potential lots of damage with Soldier, blind to follow, drink inside of it so you can see aggressive. Soldier backing up out of there, using those death calls aggressively. They really wanted to give both Death Knights, Frost and Unholy, a reason to spend your runic power besides just going for death strikes. It's going to be big barrages onto Soldier, not a lot of health available. AMS coming up very, very soon though. Does he have an ACC to work with here? Breath needs an AMS right now, otherwise Polymorph not going to be able to give you any health. AMS last second, barely any health available. Trying to go for big grippy hand into a stunner to Jayhawk, building up a little bit more damage, but as soon as he can get next to Jayhawk, wait, maybe the dots and the pets might just be enough. Jayhawk is going to go for a bit of an invis as he's trying to go for a reset, but Soldier making sure that the main pet is on Jayhawk at all times, trying to get that gold frozen. Mages of the Dead trying to swing around the corner. Could be anyone's game right now. Jayhawk does go for an invis for a second. The gold should be able to interrupt him unless Soldier is not controlling the goal. Goal's just retreating. Goal's backing away entirely. Goal's just walking away. I don't know what he's trying to do. The goal could have been there to at least stop him from eating food. Stun onto the mage, going for a breath. This is a big old barrage. It's going to be massive Arcane Surge. AMS, last ditch effort, last ditch defense. And Soldier trying to summon up even more pets, trying to go for a kick. Oh, the Rage Clawing Shadows though does give him the opportunity to score a kill on the mage. Barely alive, barely kicking, but does go for a bit of a reset. with Arbus gonna be up next. Just gonna see if he can just blast out Shadow Flame over at Soldier. Does not have a lot of health, does go for one little Death Strike. That's about all he can really do. Going for a bit of Lichborn. That healing from the Death Coil is actually quite effective now. Pumping up his pet over next to Arbus. Could go for the pet stun in case he ever needs to. Could also go for the pet insert if he can get the pet away from Arbus for a second. Summon up the Army of the Dead. Mortal Coil. Not going to give Arbus too much healing. Goes for a big old stun. Oh, it looks like the pet got Havoc. Trying to go for a bit of a Chaos Ball cleave on the pet as well as Soldier. I feel like at this point, honestly, putting Havoc onto Soldier and blasting out the pet might have actually been the better play. It's going to be a red hot Iron Infernal dropping in. Was able to customize the pet. It looks so good. A Soldier trying to see if he can back up out of it for a second. Needs survivability. The Arbus trying to see if he can get ahead of the guy. One portal is going to be open. Big Chaos Bolt just blasted him out, and the Infernal, just the searing heat is going to end up melting the Death Knight little by little. The Snack's going to be up next over for the Team 2, playing Affliction Warlock similar to Taxi. Look at that mug. You got just like a frosty looking frosty looking Affliction Warlock. Gonna be all of these pets join in. Dark Glare for Arbus. Gonna try to see if he can watch his back. Chaos Bolts are up for Arbus as he's getting blasted out by... Wait, hold on. He got the Observer, one got the Dark Glare. That's what it is. Arbus may just be dead though, and Snacks does go for a quick trade at the end. Affliction Warlocks, they did amp up their damage quite a bit too, so I wonder how that's gonna work for him. Gonna be a stun onto the Warlock as Masterfoot trying to see if he can get some bleeds in. The bleeds are already rolling. Snacks may not be in a great spot. Trying to go for a bit of a drain life in order to catch up in healing. Is able to. Masterfoot trying to go for a couple of Moonfires around the corner, but every time you give this guy some drains, it's just going to help him out a ton. Masterfoot may just have to play around these dots, which are burning him down little by little. Snacks pushing in, going to be a stun immediately. Could go for a defensive Dark Pack getting used up. As long as he's got dots on the Masterfoot, he'll be okay, but catching up to the Feral is going to be near impossible as long as Masterfoot is ahead of him. In cat form, he always got the extra movement speed. Does go in for a restun just to maintain his control over the Warlock. Trying to catch up a little bit of healing. And Snacks looks like he's been able to recover for the most part from the dots, but Masterfoot is able to at least catch up with full health. This is where Snacks may just have to go for a wall. Full damage. Try to see if he can set up full dots. Needs to get himself the most amount of damage onto Masterfoot. Trying to go for an intro, but the wall is keeping him alive and healthy. Masterfoot cannot remove these dots all that easily. This is why he would love to have a Dark Glare, but doesn't have one. Trying to go for a fear. Does he get interrupted? Drain left to follow. No more kick for Skull Bash. Oblivion trying to see if he can just burn down Masterfoot, but not enough. Stun onto Taxi. Trying to get some bleeds onto the Warlock. Bash to follow. Taxi does not have any way to CC Masterfoot besides Mortal Coils and Fears. This is why I was wondering, like, why would you run Succubus for the pet? The Succubus, I mean, it will put pressure onto Masterfoot, and if he ever shifts out of form, I guess you can maybe catch him in a quick Succubus seduction. So I guess maybe that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to pressure the Feral Druid to stay in bear form and in cat form without the ability to, like, self-heal. Regrowths are going to be impossible to do with the Succubus around. But eventually, Masterfoot is going to end up checking out. Trying to go for a kick onto Taxi. Was not able to. Drain Soul out to see if he can finish him off. Trying to go and see if he can heal through it with our friends in Regen. Looks like it's barely enough to hang in the basket to give himself a bit of a shield as well as a Spore Cloak by the looks of it. So he gives him plenty of survivability. Drain to follow. Does get himself a proper stun onto Taxi. And those stuns that he's using into finishes at least gives him a free regrowth here and there. Maybe can turn to Superman after a while. But so far, I mean, oh man, actually I think Masterfoot could somehow come out alive here. If he plays it super carefully, trying to go for a kick. Barely alive, but still kicking. These dots are not really doing nearly as much damage as I think Taxi was hoping here. They're not enough to take down the Druid. They got Bear Form and Friends of Regen. Maybe big stun to follow. Does he have anything? If you only got all the big dots of the Taxi off of the stun, that might have been game over actually. Could have potentially been game over. Looks like 4Beer wants to give the guy a proper honor duel. I don't really know. Let's try to go for a bow from range too. Taxi, I don't know, but does 4Beer want a proper honor duel? Because what they could do is they could have Azrael heal Taxi. Or would you rather just fight Taxi while he's like not fully recovered? Because we are pretty high in damage right now. I like the bow though. I like this. That's so cool. It's really up to 4Beer. Does he want him fully healed up, or would you rather just have him have full cooldowns? Wait. Oh, hold on. No, he doesn't like it. He doesn't like it. I'm glad that Ezreal stopped. Just try to see if they work. It's really up to Vorkbeard. Actually, you know what? Let's just not heal anybody unless you have the enemy team come up to you and point at you to like heal them. Just let's not have him healed. Vorkbeard is going to remove all the dots though. That is going to do quite a bit of damage without your way getting removed. Try to see if you catch back up to Taxi while he's got all the dots on him. Reflect this up. Vorkbeard is popping defenses as well as Avatar. And Taxi just trying to see if he could back up out of there. Let the dots do their work. It is a warrior compared to a feral druid, cannot really heal in the same way. And Forkbeard, he's got himself a little bit of recovery. Like once the dots are off of him, second wind should start kicking in. So unless Taxi like sends out a demon at the guy or just keeps harassing him with dots, he may not be in that easy to win position. Gonna be leap with a charge around the corner. Taxi with a board while he was on the dragon, so his camera is bugged permanently until he mounts up again or gets CC'd. Gonna be Forkbeard trying to see if he can catch up to Taxi, but back it up instead. I think just trying to let the passive regeneration work towards his favor. Getting loaded up with dots as Taxi, back it up out of the full slow into Forkbeard. Trying to go with the drain left around the corner with a bit of a shield. Immortal sent in, does end up CCing him, full dots up with Taxi. Trying to keep the damage rolling onto Forkbeard. Does have a pretty good setup. I think it may just be over. Forkbeard, I think it's just done for. Oh no. He gave the man an auto duel too and everything. Oh no. I feel like at this point, next time versus Taxi, you may not want to give him an auto duel. Unholy DK popping off, man. Look at that. Affliction Warlock too. But Unholy DK, I wonder if Taxi, I wonder if he played any new talents.